Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhatarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beda Vibhagini Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Bukaro Anthakaro Vai Rukarastan Nivartakaha Anthakara Nirodhitvat Gururitya Vidhiyate Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavati Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidya Acharyaya Nachiketase Namaha. We are in the 7th verse of the 2nd chapter, 2nd session. A striking verse it is indeed. Lord Yama told Nachiketas, I would like to disclose you according to the secrets what you have asked me about the being which departs from the body. Is there any other life after departing from a particular body? I want to answer for that question because since you have proved that you are a very committed student in the pursuit of Vedanta or in the pursuit of spirituality, commitment depend upon the discrimination. Once you come to know the value of the pursuit, it will be very easy to commit for that. For example, when we say to somebody in a casual way, there is a class going on in Sunday about Kaṭha Upaniṣad. For a person who is already drowned in the samsaric views and the samsaric desires, material desires, for them it is a casual information. Suppose a person comes to know that I am in certain situations which makes me more difficult, painful to cross over. But there are solutions from the traditional teachers and teachings. If we can follow them, if we can sit under them and listen what they say about the traditional scriptures, about our secrets of an individual, it may give some relief first. After that, complete happiness, removing all the obstacles, what we call material issues, whether it is related to wife-husband relationship, whether it is a problem related to father-son-daughter relationships, whether it is an issue in the professional side, anything, it can be removed if it is an obstacle. If a person come and study or come and listen to the traditional scriptures, what they say about how to tackle a situation, how to overcome an obstacle. So that discrimination, if we are having in a small amount in our mind, it will be very helpful for a person come and listen what Kaṭha Upaniṣad talks about. So Nachiketas already proved Lord Yama that he's a very much committed person towards the pursuit of truth. So Lord Yama also giving whatever he can give, as he asked to Lord Death that what is the secret about the soul or an individual after departing from the body. Lord Yama here directly giving the answer. What he says really, the soul, what we call in English, in Sanskrit, the soul is called Jiva. From the ultimate standpoint, there is no Jiva. Brahman is non-apprehended and it is been sensed as a being endowed with a body. Then it is called Jiva. From the ultimate standpoint, there is no Jiva, it is the ultimate Brahman. So, in English, it is called soul. In Sanskrit, it is called Jiva. From the ultimate standpoint, one realizes the truth. The same Jiva or the same soul is called the Brahman, the individual self. That self, Lord Yama told to Nachiketas, it will travel to another body after departing from this present body. And it will travel to a next body. This was the first confirmation given by the Lord of Death. He didn't say that this is the end of the life of a soul after one of the body has fell down. If it can travel means it didn't die. The body has finished its destiny. So that particular body we give up. And the Lord of Death explained properly what and how, what is the next birth and how he get qualified to a birth. That is the words which we are dealing. I will read the verse, 7th verse, and I will give you the explanation. Yoni madhye prapathyante sharirattvaya dehinaha sthanumanye samyam sthanumanye anusamyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. Once more I will read for the clarification. Yoni manye prapathyante sharirattvaya dehinaha sthanumanye anusamyanti yatha karma yatha shrutam. Yonim anye prapatyanti. Prapathyante. Atmanepada. Yonim anye prapathyante. Yonim, the womb. After departing from the present body and the present situations, the individual soul, now we have a standpoint called without having the knowledge about the truth, and if there is only ignorance about the reality, of course, that soul who didn't study under a traditional teacher regarding the knowledge and the truth, of course, that soul who believes in this world, I am this body. Once this body is no more work in this contemporary world, it's no more strength to work and proceed in this contemporary world, it will slowly falls down. It will slowly go to the death. After death, slowly it will goes it will go to another life form. Yonim anye. Anye means another. Yonim, a womb, because each and every living being enter into the womb through semen. In the father, it will enter in the form of food, and this food will be converted into semen, and this semen is given to an auspicious way to the female, and in the womb it will slowly grow into another life form. So all this process we have to keep in our mind. In a womb, the departed soul will enter. Yonim adne prabhadyante. It enters into the womb. I would like to discuss two verses from the Viveka Chudamani regarding this particular phrase, because it will be very helpful for the jijnasus, for the seekers of truth. Durlabam trayam eva etat daivanugraha hetukam. I am not reading the verse of Kaṭha Upaniṣad. In connection with this verse, I am reading two verses from another text written by Adi Shankara, the traditional teacher. Durlabam trayam eva etat manushyatvam daivanugraha hetukam manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha samshrayatvam. Durlabam, indeed very rare. Durlabam. Trayam, these three things, only it will happen by special blessings, special deeds. Durlabam trayam eva etat daivanugraha hetukam. Manushyatvam, getting a human body and be aware of the values to be performed by the human body. This is called manushyatvam, humanness. If we convert this word directly, the meaning is not only a human body and also aware of the values to be performed by a human being. Manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, to get rid of this death and birth cycle. That is called mumukshutvam, a total desire to get freedom from all kinds of limitations. If you directly translate the mumukshutvam, it may just say to be freed. Freed from what? All kinds of limitations. Body limitation, caste limitation, religious limitation, comparing with other person, the knowledge limitation. I feel inferior. Looking at the skin of another person, I feel inferior. Limitations. Looking at the face of another person, I feel inferior. What to say? Looking at the other person's hair itself, we feel inferior. People are always insecure. This insecurity is called limitation. By comparing, looking at the world, what he has and what I am having, all these thoughts are called limitations. Even my own defects, I feel I am limited by my own things. I cannot come out of my habit. My mind is so much addicted with these things, material world and pleasures, limitation in the thinking. There is no such word called addiction. It's a superimposed manner of a human being. If I can say utter foolishness, if you say, I am addicted to this, you convert that sentence into, I didn't get a proper guidance to come out of that. That's all. There is no such a thing called addiction in the world, okay? If you get a proper guidance regarding the matter what you are pursuing, which feel to be uncomfortable, but you cannot come out of that because lacking of guidance. So there is no such behavior called addiction in the world. People don't have a proper guidance. If they get a proper guidance from the traditional teachers or the noble-hearted people regarding the matter which they can't handle by themselves, definitely next day the person will give up what they called addiction. Forget it. Mumukshutvam, limitations, to be free from all kinds of limitations. Mahapurusha samshrayaha. There comes the striking word. Always in the realm of a Mahatma, a person who has well versed in the traditional scriptures. Be always in touch with a traditional teacher. You can speak friendly. You can talk any subjects. It may be personal. It may be out of context in our life. Any topic you want to clarify, you want to make all the things proper in your life, you should have a proper guidance from a traditional teacher. Mahapurusha samshraya, always in connected with a proper traditional person. It can be a traditional teacher who knows the truth and who knows what is untruth. Then only he can give the total clarity in your life. So these three things are indeed rare. What are they? Adi Shankara says in Viveka Chudamani, third verse, Durlabam Trayam Eva Etat Daivanugraha Hedugam. So much blessings are needed to get these three things in an individual, in a human life. What are they? Having certain ideas about the human values and having the guts to perform the human values without falling the prey for one's own likes and dislikes. A straightforward person who perform the values regardless of others are performing or not. Manushyatvam, mumukshutvam, always having the desire to be free from all kinds of limitations. Mahapurusha samshraya, and always in contact with a person who is well versed in the scriptures. These three things, if happen in one's own life, if happen in one's life, that person will reach the proper human goal. That is why Adi Shankara told, because of the blessings of this all-pervasive Lord, then only one will get all these factors in their life. Then he say, then I would like to clarify about the human birth. Among the 84 lakhs of living beings, human birth will happen very rarely. 50% of good results, 50% of unfavorable results combined together and having a human birth. I already mentioned you Four types of births are there in this universe. Shvetajam, Andajam, Udbijam, Jarayujam, which I mentioned you in the last class. In that, we are in Jarayujam, one who feed with the breast milk. So after human birth, one cannot go to another inferior birth like a street dog or a mouse or a rat. I also conveyed the beliefs of Indian tradition and the scriptural informations regarding the next birth. Many of the religions in the world consider that there is no birth after giving up the human birth. But really speaking, there are births after human birth. According to what? That is what being conveyed here in the Kaṭha Upaniṣad at the second sentence. So, when you are living in a human birth, if you go along with the likes and dislikes like an animal, whatever I want to do, I will do because I am earning the money and I am spending the money. Why should I consider others' opinion? This is the main sentence everybody used to convey others. I purchase my dog. I feed my dog. I can keep my dog in my house. Why should I consider you? It will bark as a dog. Please, my children are studying in the school. When your dog barks, they feel uncomfortable in their studies. Can you do anything from the flat and keep somewhere else this dog? We have this statement, I have my money. I purchased my dog. I feed my dog. I keep my dog for my security. Why should I consider you? You can give up your flat and go somewhere to live. That is what we say. This is called ego interruption in our life. My money, what my money? One heart attack is enough. Your money is somebody's money now. So, my money, whenever you say, next second, thank God, nobody in this spiritual pursuit will not give up their life like this. But when you consider my money, what my money? Of course, you have earned my money, your money by putting effort, by putting lot of plans and giving up certain things, lot of pain acquiring the money. Still, you can consider others' ideas. Everybody desire to live in this world. Not only me. This person who is living next to your flat says a fact. It is true. When you are studying or you are reading a book, of course, when you are listening this class online, if some dog barks continuously, what will you feel? Similarly, I am giving an example. Ego interruption in our life. Jivatva buddhi. I am this body and I go along with my thoughts of the body. Jivatva buddhi. This is called vasana. An impression which is already inside the mind, not to bow down in front of others, even though it is a fact. I don't bow, I don't go, I don't listen anybody's voice. I want to be free with my thoughts. Freedom is not that you will live what you want. Freedom is that you live according to the scriptures, according to the values you heard from others, according to the tune, in tune with the natural living beings. This is called real life. You don't have the pressure to disturb anybody in this world. You don't have the pressure to do what you want to do. Really, that person is a slave of his own desires. That means he is being tightened by his own desires. That's not freedom. A chain smoker in the street, even somebody in the plane, they can't stop smoking. And if we say them in a polite way, please don't smoke. It's not a place for smoke. Who are you to say to me, my money, my freedom, my cigarette, my body? Who are you? Mind your business. Of course, this is listened by everybody in this world. Even in the bus when we are traveling, passive smoking is more injurious than direct smoking. This is another issue. Anyway, so he is a slave of his own desires, and they say they are free. They are free to do anything in the world. It's not freedom. That is why, according to the desires, we will end up in another body. It is being told here. I will explain you. Come to the whole scenario of this verse. How a person enter into another birth according to one's own desires. Suppose you eat beef, you eat pork. You have a desire to have some meat in your daily life. And the doctors also promote that. What they promote? One needs to eat meat to survive. Lot of protein, B12, this, that. No. They are eating, so they don't want to stop. So let others also let they eat. A meat is a product of extreme cruelty. From the day first onwards up to the last breath, it suffers a lot. And you enjoy somebody's suffering. This samskara, this impression is there that you want to eat meat daily. I have money, I have a situation, so I want to eat meat. This impression is there. These impressions will carry along with your subtle body to the next birth. Whatever actions you have done against the laws of karma in the world will become a suffering in your next life. So, when you love cruelty, the role will be interchanged. A human role will be replaced by a bull or a pig, and the bull will be replaced by a human birth. So, what are the living beings killed and enjoyed by you? The same living beings will become a human body. They will take a human body, and you replace your human body into these living beings, and you will go through these sufferings and pain which you have enjoyed. So, any time, whatever actions we perform in our life, it's a boomerang. I enjoy cruelty, so my life will end up in a living being who will be always through difficult situations. I interchange myself. A pig will become a human being and a human being become a pig. This is called impressions which gathered in my life. After all, I love beef. So Lord will bless you. The laws of karma will bless you to get a beef body, a bull. Similarly, everything in the world. Suppose you hurt somebody with the words by giving certain words. Of course, in the life, you may also listen some words which are not easy to tolerate yourself. It's a boomerang. Whatever you sow, that will come to you. As you will reap that. This is the laws of karma. Suppose you invest certain noble deeds in this world. It will wait and wait and wait and wait. With all interest, it will come as a very conducive situation in your life. The more the results are pending, it is just like a balance, a bank balance, which you didn't retrieve, and it is in a safe position with a lot of interest. Let the noble results come late in our life. Okay. Now, I'm going to the second sentence of the Kaṭha Upaniṣad. Keeping this in the mind, yonim anye prabadhyante sharirattvaya dehinaha. Sharirattvaya. According to the karma, what we have done in this life and the previous lives, in tune with that, we will take another body. For the sake of that body which we deserve, suppose you have invested cruelty in this material world while living, our life will end up in an inferior birth and we will go through a lot of pain and suffering because we didn't invest good deeds in this world. We didn't invest noble results. Because of my selfish mentality, self-centered idea, I am not aware of others. I just stick with my own happiness and my own imaginations and my own dream. I never considered about others, what others will think, what others will suffer. All these things I didn't think because my eyes are blindfolded to see the reality because of money status, because of my health status, because of my pressures inside my mind. I do certain things which are annoying for others in the society, for the individuals who are living along with me. Because I am centered on my own happiness, I just ignore what others think, what suffering others will have by doing this action by me. So all these things will transform into my evil results. According to the evil results, we get inferior births. Suppose you have done some noble things. You distribute dresses, clothes. You distribute some money. You distribute some food. We used to distribute certain things in the world. These noble deeds make you to have certain conducive situations. So my own evil deeds will make me to end up in a body which is a suffering and which is having lot of pain while living. My own noble results will help me to reach conducive situations, taking a proper superior birth than the birth which I have taken in the previous stage. Sharirattvaya yonim anye prapatyante, the individual soul travels to another womb according to my own deeds. According to that, I will my soul, that individual soul will travel to a next birth, to a next body. Sharirattvaya dehinaha. And again, there is a circle, death and birth circle. After the death, definitely I will enter, the individual soul will enter into a next birth in tune with the actions what I performed here in this birth and in the previous birth. So, Sharirattvaya Dehina, there is a journey of an individual soul to the next birth according to one's own deeds, what they have done. Sharirattvaya Dehina. Then, not only in the life forms like animals and birds, Lord Death confirms that Sthanam Anye Anusamyanti. Some souls, individual soul, some souls enter into the life of trees, plants, etc., even at like a grass. These are all life forms. For a particular action, there is a particular result. For that particular result, you have to take a particular life form. This is the rule. When you hurt somebody, and the hurt is so deep for that person, and they are suffering right now, he or she is suffering due to your behavior, that suffering is going to come to our life if we have done. For that, we have to take a particular body. It's very, very important. It may be very small word. If the person got hurt, then that hurt is going to come in our life. That is why we should be very careful with our words and with our actions and with our thoughts. Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. 3 planes where the actions are performed. Orally, mentally, physically. These actions, we should be very alert. Our actions cannot be destroying others like ants, plants, etc., etc. Our actions should not hurt others through words, etc. Our actions should not generate pain on others through physically. If we are aware our birth is going to be superior, it may be end of the life. After getting the knowledge about the reality, one will be excluded from this death and birth cycle. The freedom is re-established. I didn't know that I am already free. I came to know that I am free. But for that, we need to know certain steps also. Here, we'll go along with the verse, what they say. We'll see. Sthanam anye anusamyanti. There are certain individual souls which will end up their life in grass, plants, and also trees. Trees are always vulnerable, we know that. When you have a desire to make a window in your house, you point a tree to the carpenter. You can cut this tree and you can make a window. Tree have certain emotions, but it cannot make us to perceive. We can't perceive also. It doesn't have the capacity to make us see what emotion is going on. That is why Stanum, trees are vulnerable. Grass, of course, vulnerable. Plants are vulnerable. It means that these are all inferior life forms. So, an individual soul can enter to inferior births like trees, plants, and also small creatures or small weeds, etc., like grass, some other things. Sthanam anni anusamyati. Now the real fact comes into the picture by Lord Death. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. This is the scale. This is the measuring aid. This is the deciding factor which birth we will get next. Yatha karma, according to the actions what we have performed here in this world. Because doing a karma again and again and again, the same karma as an exercise, it creates certain impression inside our mind. That impression is dangerous. These impressions are the culprits to take inferior births. How can we remove the impressions? While you are doing an action, you don't expect a particular result. You do the action sincerely and let that become the culmination of the actions. Remember, after doing the action, you forget about the result. We say karma yoga. This particular word, doing an action with the yoga buddhi. Yoga buddhi means without expecting the result, I do the actions properly. Of course, that action is going to gain the more results and the better results. When you have this attitude, there will be no impressions at all. Impressions are the product of expectations. When you don't expect in this world and you do everything sincerely, there is no impressions. You can sleep properly in the night. Whether it is writing an exam, whether it is a play in the share market, whether it is a project in your new company, whether it is a good dish, whether it is your house painting, don't expect anything, but you do properly. You can sleep properly. This will not create any impression in one's mind. Of course, all the impressions have the root in our expectations. When we expect certain things and it will not come according to our expectancy, then the impression is that I have to perform properly again. I have to perform properly again. I have to perform properly again. Then the impressions are created. That is why Lord Krishna says karma yogam. Yoga buddhya kuru karmatvam. Without expecting a particular result, you have a role to you have to have a role to perform the actions properly. Thus, you perform the actions. Then the result will be more than what you have expected. And the ultimate result of an action is anthakarana shuddhi, purification of the mind. People may see something negligible, this result. The more your mind is purified, more you are qualified to exclude from this suffering world. Purification of the mind is the largest result which can give by an action. Purification of the mind. Purity. That result we acquire when we do the action with yoga buddhi. Karma yoga buddhya, when we do the actions in karma yoga, that actions will bring the ultimate result which can give by an action. Andhakarana Shuddhi. Tam Buddhi Yogam Aham Datami. In the 10th chapter, Lord Krishna says, this is the ultimate benefit from an action. Like when you plant a mango tree, you want to eat a mango. It is not that you want to eat some mango leaves or you have certain business with the mango leaves. No. The prime factor is you want to get mangoes. Similarly, when you perform a karma, the prime factor of the karma is anthakarana shuddhi, intellect, purity of the mind. Without having impression is called purity. There is no left impression inside the mind. The mind is light. You can focus on a topic. You can do an action with a length of time, with a lot of patience. All these qualities are due to the lighten of the mind, because of the purification of the mind. So, yatha karma, I will come to the phrase of Lord Death. How a person enter into the next birth, this is the measuring scale according to one's own actions. Yatha karma. How the actions are performed, because the information passed by my parents, they say you eat meat. Because of my parents passed some information, because of my friends give me some information, because of my colleagues give me some information. This is how you get certain ideas to do certain actions. And horrible actions become normal. Like killing any animal is a lose of battle of a human being. It is not not a favorable action. Any animal. We are not here to kill animals. We are supposed to here to take care of the entire world and living beings. That is why any responsibility or any power will be always filled with the responsibilities. We have the entire power to control this whole world. We make atom bombs. We send satellites towards moon, but we are unaware of our own planet is getting destroyed. We send just satellites towards moon without thinking, what about our planet? Tips are evaporating. Icebergs are just getting melted and becoming water. Slowly, the land is being taken by the water. It is just like drinking a cup of tea while sitting at the tip of a volcano. You enjoy certain things without knowing the situation behind you. So, ideas which are gathered from the people and the friends are not true. That can give you a freedom or a leisure, but it may be a wrong action. Killing an animal is a wrong action. So, people are taking granted. Whenever you take a newspaper, one page will be completely about the people, crime done by the people, just killing others, whether it is human being or animals, whatever it may be. It become normal now. Every day we get one complete page of murdering others. In spite of that, lot of murders are happening in the slaughterhouses, in the farmhouses, etc., etc. Leave it. Still, how many human beings are being murdered? And a horrible action, daily by doing that, it become normal for us, correct? It's a karma which attract evil results. There are some other actions when you plant a tree or a small seed and to grow. You have an idea to supply oxygen towards the entire world in spite of your fruit, what you are going to eat. Those leaves are going to take away the carbon dioxide and they are just dropping the oxygen towards the entire ecosystem. A benefit and a noble action done by you, even though you are not aware so much. But it's an action which will draw good results. So all the good results, all the old results combined together, and it will become a formation of the next birth. This is the base of next birth. Whatever actions I have performed in this world while living, all the actions will not give the results immediately. Like all the fruits will become ripen one single day. Every day, few fruits will fall down. Few fruits will be slowly maturing. So similarly, our results will not be getting one day. Complete results will not come on one day. It will take time. Some results will come on the next day. Some results will come on after 1 week. Some results will come after 10 years. Some results will come after 20 years, but it will come. Yada sahasreshu denushu vatso gacchati mataram tada sarvani karmani kartara manugacchandi. Just like among the 1,000 cows, I always repeat in every classes, a very beautiful way of conveying the message for the human being. A calf will identify its own mother among 1,000 cows because they have some communication, This calf will directly go to the cow and drink milk. It will not mistake any other cows, even though there are 1,000 cows around that. Similarly, all the karmas will be directly coming to the doer only. It will not fail to reach the doer. Directly, it will come without any failure and it will reach the real karta. That is why we should be very aware of any karma in the world. Karmas can put you in an inferior birth At the same time, the karmas can put you to the superior births. Let it be. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. That's another. Shrutam. According to what shrutam means, 2 minutes I will take. Okay. Shrutam means what you have listened about the fact is called shrutam. Shruti means the traditional teachings, the scriptures, Upanishads, the Vedantic text, what we are studying right now. Shrutam, what you have listened about these scriptures and the truth and the facts from the traditional teachers. Once you are convinced about the actions, once you are convinced about your own real self, once you are convinced about the birth and all other things connected with the birth, you have a different vision to the entire world. Your attitude has changed according to the values given by the traditional teachers, according to the information given by the traditional teachers. It's very important. When you misapprehend a snake in a rope in a dark room, Shankara says, by the advice of your friend who always used to comes to the room in darkness and goes outside, he passes the information to you. What? You are mistaken. You stepped on a rope and you thought that it is a snake. By this advice, a person's attitude will completely change. He is no more fear at all to enter into that dark room because there is no snake at all. When he was thinking also, there was no snake. When he realized also, there was no snake. Similarly, when the traditional teachers take care us as a boy who is fear of this world and the material things or the sufferings, they just come and tell the reality about one's own life. You are immortal. You are not this body. You are not the sense organs. You need not run like a dog behind the sensual pleasures. You just keep quiet because you are the origination, the place where the happiness originates. You are the starting point of the happiness. Happiness never existed at any point of time in the outside things. It's just your own superimposition. All these sentences one need to know in a systematical manner. It is not a pet talk like this, what I am saying to you. When you get this advice, when you get all this information traditionally from the traditional teacher who already following the facts, a truth will not survive. A truth can only survive thousands of years. If it was a lie, we will not be coming in classes because already it is a lie. When the happiness are not having the origination in oneself and it is a lie, we will be not studying right now because it is a truth. We are immortal. It is a truth. That is why a truth survived even after 1,000 years. It can be discussed by people. A lie cannot survive more than 10 years. You can manipulate somebody for a few moments. After that, once they realize, they throw away the book. But Upanishads are there and people are there to listen and people are there to talk about that after studying. It means it's all reality. So that Shrutam, when you listen to the traditional teachers about your reality, that you are immortal and you are the self which is all pervading and you are not the body, then that is the culmination of the death and birth cycle. It is the end and you are eternally free after getting this information. More I will talk in the next class just about this Yathashrudam and we will continue with the next verse in the next class. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः, पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः। ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।